to the iron will of the tyrant Lich King, the vast undead armies of the Scourge seek to eradicate all life on Azeroth. Led by the Banshee Sylvanas Windrunner, a group of renegades broke away from the Scourge and freed themselves of the Lich King's domination. Known by some as the Forsaken, this group fights a constant battle, not only to retain its freedom from the Scourge, but also to slaughter those who would hunt them as monsters. With Sylvanas as their Banshee Queen, the Forsaken have built a dark stronghold beneath the ruins of Lordaeron's former capital city. This hidden Undercity forms a sprawling labyrinth that stretches beneath the haunted woods of the Tirisfal Glades. Though the very land is cursed, the zealous humans of the Scarlet Crusade still cling to their scattered holdings, obsessed with eradicating the undead and retaking their homeland. Convinced that the primitive races of the Horde can help them achieve victory over their enemies, the Forsaken have entered an alliance of convenience. Harboring no true loyalty for their new allies, they will go to any lengths to ensure their dark plans come to fruition. As one of the Forsaken, you must massacre any who pose a threat to the new order, human, undead, or otherwise.
Hello everyone, welcome to World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore and the Self-Made Challenge. I appreciate you joining me today, and I hope you are all doing well. Plenty of info to come as we get started with our Undead Mage, but first, if you are new here, welcome to the channel. This series, just like all of the others, is designed with a focus on relaxing commentary and immersive gameplay in mind. Music and ambiance will be at the forefront, a clean and minimal UI will be present, and we will be reading out all of the quest text along the way. All of the other server information, add-ons, and other details can be found in the description below, and with that, let us enjoy the forsaken landscape of Tirisfal Glades and the challenges that lie ahead. Let's get started. So we're starting out with Frost Armor and Fireball, of course. It's been a while since I've played a mage. Should get quite interesting.
Hello.
And we've got Undertaker Mordo. About time you woke up. We were ready to toss you into the fire with the others, but it looks like you made it. I am Mordo, the caretaker of the Crypt of Death Knell. And you are the Lich King's slave no more. Speak with Shadow Priest Sarvis in the chapel at the base of the hill. He will tell you more of what you must know.
Farewell.
Sounds good to me. Let's go ahead and pick up our first quest, and we'll go over the rule set in a tad bit more detail as we start taking out some mindless zombies. Another of the Walking Dead, Must have been quite a shock waking up in the crypt with only the cold and Mordo to greet you. I see the confusion on your face. Let me try to explain our situation to you. We have been freed from the control of the Lich King by our new leader, Lady Sylvanas. The Dark Lady guides us in our war against the hated Scourge and the holdouts of humanity who dog our every step.
Remember, patience.
We Forsaken are at war with the Lich King's army of the Scourge, necromantically raised armies of the undead, foul beasts of the north, and tormented specters. The northern part of the village has become overrun with the mindless ones, and they must be destroyed. Destroy them, show no mercy, our former brothers and sisters as they might be. The fallen are nothing but the Lich King's slaves.
Our time will come.
Very good. We're given 2 options for rewards with that quest, and we will not be accepting any of them. I think now is a pretty good time to start getting into that rule set that I was talking about earlier. Self-made is slightly different than solo self-found. In a solo self-found run of hardcore, you are allowed to use quest rewards and purchase greens from vendors and whatnot. There's a lot of stuff that you can do, but we're a little bit more restricted with our character here. We are not allowed to equip or use any items that we have not crafted ourselves. No items bought or dropped or rewarded by quests can be equipped or consumed. The only exception for this challenge is a fishing pole. We are allowed to use one, which is nice. And this doesn't prevent us from buying stuff from vendors to use for quests or professions or anything like that, but we will have to make all of our own gear and our own bags as well. It does mean that we cannot use stuff like potions or other consumables that we pick up off of enemies that we kill or, within treasure chests that we loot. I guess the general rule is that if it can be crafted, we can't use it unless we make it ourselves. So there'll be a couple of really highly valuable items that we can use though from quest rewards, like, I think slumber sand, items like that we can get from quests should be fair game because they can't be crafted by anything. And we're going to have a limited amount of use out of them anyway, so I think we can allow ourselves to use those for the challenge. It's going to definitely be interesting to get used to utilizing mana again and drinking a lot more. I have not played a caster in vanilla in quite a bit. It's been a while since we've had a series feature a mage or a warlock or a priest. Of course, this also means we're going to have to craft our own wands as well. So profession-wise, we are going to have to pick up enchanting fairly early. I have made that grind before though to pick up the lesser and greater magic wands, and it's going to take a bit of time to, build up our tailoring first. So we're going to start with skinning and tailoring. Skinning will provide us with some early gold to accommodate our new abilities, keep us on track, pay for profession-related stuff and whatnot. And there's a lot of things that we're going to have to consider as we move forward. We're going to need cloth for tailoring, obviously, but we'll need it for first aid as well. I think first aid is going to be invaluable. So we'll have to decide how we're going to work with that. Our last wretched zombie. Let's go back to Shadow Priest Sarvis, and we'll pick up our next set of quests. And we'll pick up our first new ability from our trainer.
Hello.
It is unfortunate that the Scourge cannot be brought into the fold. Their large numbers would be useful in the battles ahead, but they will not join us, so we have no choice but to destroy them.
Victory for Sylvanas.
While you are off dealing with the mindless Scourge, this scroll arrived for you. I would think it's some matter of importance, as it seems it bears the seal of the mage trainer Isabella. I would take time to read it before heading out again.
Trust no one. Beware the living.
And now for rattling the rattle cages. You've shown your potential to the Forsaken under normal circumstances, Adelaide. Now let's see you under pressure. The rattle cage skeletons, more mindless minions of the Lich King, are a tougher foe than the zombies you have faced thus far. Again, thin their numbers and prove yourself to the Forsaken. Do not tarry. When you are done, speak to me again.
Dark Lady, watch over you.
Mage Trainer just happens to be right next to us. Suppose we can read the scroll, though. The corruption and evil that rumor says travels with the arcane is nothing compared to the pain we've already felt. We are no longer victims, Adelaide. We are the ones who control our fate. Sylvanas has paved the way for us. She has proven that our will is our own, and that we are no longer thralls to that bastard Arthas. Seek me out in the church. I shall instruct you further, if that is your desire.
Yes. Beware.
Suppose we'll speak with her first. I knew you would come to me, Adelaide, not because you do not have the will to follow your own path, but because we are kindred spirits. We both have felt pain. We both suffered. And now we want the power to take back what we know is ours. This land, our lives, our destinies. But there is much for you to learn still.
Remember.
You must return to me often if you are to become powerful enough to destroy those who oppose us. The rules of magic still apply to you, Adelaide. You will still find corruption follows you like hungry wolves in the night. You will find its caress is not unlike an addiction, the old lover still wanting to be by your side. But these things can be staved off. These things will only control you if you allow them to. Go now. Return to me when you've grown more powerful.
Embrace the shadow.
And we are picking up Arcane Intellect, another one of our buffs, and a staple among mages, of course. Let's go ahead and train that.
Watch over you. I haven't got all
And
that.
now from Novice Elrith, my duties include tending to our wounded warriors, tailoring armor and clothes, and assisting Shadow Priest Sarvis with whatever else he might need. From the look of it, you'll be enlisted in his service also, hunting the mindless ones, if I know his mind. Well, if you'd like to stay in one piece, I have no doubt you do. Perhaps I can help. I'm running out of paws and wings, and if you bring me some, I'll find some armor for you. You'll find a good number of wolves and bats to the south.
Goodbye.
Alright, so I believe, because we're only level 2, that those are the only quests we can pick up for now. I would like to pick up some more water, actually, because I think we might actually need it pretty early on. I'll just pick up a little bit more. And I think we can sell the forest mushroom caps for now. I think we can get by with just cannibalize if we need it, but that might change as we leave Death Knell. So I suppose we'll start with the rattle cages. Let's see what we can do about them first. And we will be continuing to use Fireball for the time being. The plan, by the way, is to go with Frost this time around. I have experimented with both Fire and Arcane on the channel. Just because I've played Frost so many times in the past, predating my channel, but It's been a long time since I've played with Frost, and I want to see this character go far. It's really going to be the first time I'm reading through 100% of the Horde text as well. We've been doing it for the Alliance with the Iron Man Paladin series. If you haven't seen that one, go check it out. I loved the way that it came out, and I really wanted to do it again on the Horde side, or at least something similar. The rule set's a little bit different, but you know, reading through all the quest text still remains the same. Right as we hit level 3. Before we leave Death Now, we're definitely going to want to try to hit level 6. I typically, on most of my hardcore characters, I typically like to grind our way to level 6 before we leave our starting area. It makes a big difference as you're leaving for the first major quest hub outside of your 1 to 5 zone. We need one more rattle cage. I would like to find that before we move on to the bats and the wolves. So that takes care of that. When it comes to the bats and the wolves, I like to kind of head down here over by Samuel Phipps. This area I find it tends to have a little bit higher level bats and wolves instead of the like level 1s or 2s you might find closer to the spider cave in the northwest. Sometimes you can find some level 3s and 4s down here, and that's going to be a good chunk of extra experience for us. We can hit level 6. Sit down and drink and get our mana back. Scarlet Convert. What are you doing so far away from the camp? Are they all called converts? I guess they must be. I've never seen one patrol so far away from the camp over there. I mean, I guess I can see it from here, so it's not too crazy. Yeah, I guess they're all called converts. I mean, I've leveled in Tears Fall a million times, and I've just never seen one get so close to, you know, this broken down caravan over here. Over to the other side of the road now. Doing pretty good on the Duskbat wings. I think we're going to need quite a few more paws, I think. Oh, actually, we only need 2 more. I think we've been getting lucky with those. Need that last paw, and then we can go ahead and turn everything in. And we will most definitely be level 4, so we can go ahead and pick up our new abilities. There we go. Let's take care of vendoring this junk first, and then we'll turn everything in.
Hello.
You know what? I might have turned this off. Let me check Leatrix real quick. Yeah, let's sell the junk.
Trust no one.
That's a little bit better. We had turned that off for a different series, as that series in gray items actually mattered, so he didn't want to accidentally vendor those.
I'm listening.
I think we're okay now.
Goodbye.
I am finished with you, Adelaide. You have shown yourself to be worthy of the freedom that you have been given. Many will stand against you for what you have become, but know that no matter what they may try to do against us, we are free and will not be shackled again. Take these and be on your way. You have much to accomplish, Mage.
Dark Mage.
Perfect, level 4.
Hello.
Thank you, Adelaide. This armor should help you out. Hopefully, it should do you more good than the last one to wear it.
Trust no one.
And for Marla's last wish, my friend Marla Phipps lived with her husband Samuel before the plague. But when the plague came, Samuel succumbed and joined the Scourge's ranks. Marla was spared and on death only to die at the hands of her now mindless husband. So strong was her love, however, that her last dying wish was to be buried with her beloved Samuel. Samuel Phipps roams at the ruined camp along the road northeast of Death Knell. Defeat him and grant Marla's wish. Bury him at her grave, in the first row of our graveyard.
Dark Lady, watch over you. What would you ask of death?
Hello again, Isabella. Conjure water and frost bolts. Perfect.
Our
So
time.
we actually don't need the refreshing spring water, I guess. I thought we would be using that a little bit more often. So I suppose I can be a little bit more loose with my spells in the beginning. Let's get Frostbolt on the bars. That is going to be our signature bread and butter for pretty much the entire series. Very helpful, obviously, with its movement speed reduction.
What now?
Deathguard Salton, you there. If you're looking for something to make yourself useful, then listen up. We need fresh out of the ground recruits to head into Death Knell and search for any sort of useful equipment. Most likely, they'll be in stacks of boxes. We expect more recruits to be rising soon, and unless we want them to stumble about naked, we had better get to scavenging. We'll get to work, you miserable bag of bones. I'm not going to reward those without some hustle.
Our time will come.
And from Executor Aaron,
I am forsaken.
or Executor Aaron, however you pronounce that. One of our greatest struggles is obtaining the natural resources we need to survive. Gold was scarce, even in the height of the Alliance's power. There is a gold mine to the northwest that has been overrun with spiders. We need gold from the mine, but we can't very well get it while the spiders are crawling around in there. I've not much manpower to commit to the task, so we'll just have to do little by little. Get up there and see what you can do for us, Adelaide.
Embrace the shadow.
Very well. Let's go ahead and pick up these scavenged goods in town first. We'll look to kill a couple things along the way just to keep the experience rolling. I'll try to aim for at least level 2s. Decent amount of players on today. have to actually look around for these boxes for once. Looks like we actually ran out, so we're gonna have to wait for a few more to respawn. In the meantime, we can probably go take care of something else. Oh, there we go, we got one more here. Alright, and here's our last set of boxes. So we got the spiders and we've got Samuel Phipps. Let's go ahead and deal with Mr. Phipps first. And then we'll take care of the spiders. Looks like we might actually have to wait for him. I'm sure he respawns pretty quickly though. If I had to guess. Yeah, looks like he's already back. I'll wait for him to respawn real quick. I'll wait for a minute. I need to do a little bit of grinding anyway. I'm gonna take out a few dusk bats here. I think we'll still keep a spot for some water that we can typically buy from an innkeeper on our bars, just because I know that like in between getting upgrades for conjure water, you can kind of go a few levels where it feels very bad, like the water that you're using from your own conjure water spell. It's better just to use something else. So that is our first random bag drop. But we cannot use it since we did not make it. It's always with these self-made characters that you end up getting the most bag drops from. It always feels like. That's right, I always forget that Frostbolt has a shorter range than Fireball. I guess that kind of goes for frost spells in general. he is. Let's just get our mana back real quick. I'm going to decline guild invites for now. We're not going to be grouping with anybody, so not much point in being in a guild under our current conditions. Alright, let's get over to that abandoned gold mine and take out our spiders. Plenty of water to use for drinking. I'm so used to kind of managing our MP5 and being efficient with our pulls, but with a mage you can't really do that. You can do that with a priest, especially with the warlock as well, with stuff like life tap. But with a mage, I feel like you just kind of have to let it fly and deal with the water drinking. Obviously, as things get more dangerous, we'll have to, keep an eye out on our mana. All it takes is several spells in a row to be resisted for very bad things to start happening. Since we are arguably the squishiest class in the game, I think. I don't think there's anything squishier than a mage. Full already. My goodness. I suppose we can get rid of these, some of these cloth pieces are probably not going to vendor for too much. Even like these bracers, for example. I'd rather keep the spider parts. They tend to be worth a decent amount of vendor gold. Nightweb's Hollow is pretty crowded as well. I don't feel as bad about going into this cave without our obtaining our Frost Nova yet. Looks like those players may be heading out soon, so we should probably try to wrap this up pretty quick. Might even take on one more and head back to the entrance. We can just take on some of the neutral ones on the outside while we wait for the more aggressive ones to spawn towards the entrance. Yeah, when the bodies disappear like this, it's definitely the most scary feeling. So you know they're coming back soon. And you do not want to have to deal with that. And we got one that respawned right here. Should be our last of the aggressive ones at least. Just 2 more of the young nightweb spiders to go. So we're going to go ahead and bury Samuel's remains and then turn in everything. Remains have been buried. Death Guard Sultan, have you managed to scavenge up some useful items for us? There is no shame in reusing that which has been tossed aside. No one is going to give us any handouts. We Forsaken will fend for ourselves.
Trust no one.
Great work, Adelaide. I knew you weren't useless. Here, have one of the better items I've found out of the lots that have been collected so far. Hit level 5. Nice.
I'm listening.
You have done a good deed today, Adelaide. Although our struggle against the Scourge continues, let us hope that Marla and Samuel will find peace together in their final resting place.
Embrace the shadow.
What is it?
Well, it's a start. I'll take a few weeks or months to fully clean out the infestation. After that, we'll have to get down there with some torches to burn away the webbing. You've done your duty well, Adelaide. I'm sure I can find something else for you to do.
Beware the living.
Scarlet Crusade. You'll be happy to know that we appear to be making progress in the mine, thanks to in no small part to your efforts. We can now turn our eyes to the other concerns. My scouts have reported that a detachment of the Scarlet Crusade is setting up a camp southeast of here. The Scarlet Crusade is a despicable organization that hunts us, and they will not rest until every undead, Lich King's scourge or no, is destroyed. We must strike first. Be careful, their unholy zeal makes them dangerous adversaries.
Watch your back.
Alright, let's get this stuff out of our bags. And let's go kill some Scarlet Crusade. I think we've done a good job taking on some enemies in between. We'll see where we're at once we have collected our armbands. We're going to have one more quest to complete after this. And we'll see if we have to take care of any grinding afterwards. We probably will, a little bit. But it depends on what the drop rate looks like for these armbands. I think these initiates, yeah, they send fireballs our way. They pretty much don't do anything, which is good, but that is not going to be the case for most casters outside of our starting zone. We'll have to be careful when we approach others. I think mages eventually get stuff like Fire Ward and Frost Ward, which can mitigate some of that damage from, you know, very common damage types from casters across the world. We're not going to have a great way of dealing with shadow bolts that might come from warlocks that we encounter. But any amount of protection that we can get, I'll take. Lots of guild invites today. Let's check out this covert real quick, and I can easily turn that off. I don't think we're ever going to have it turned on. I don't think we need it. So I mean, might as well block trades as well. Won't be necessary. That is our final armband. Like I said, we'll probably just go turn this in real quick. Take on this mangy dusk bat along the way. And we'll see where we're at. I think we're in a pretty good spot here.
This had better be good.
Those fools, they happily send themselves to their own graves.
Farewell.
If only they listened to reason, eh, Adelaide? Perhaps we could sit them down for reasonable discourse. Ha, light-blinded fools. We'll take one of the two-handed weapons. Reports from my superiors in Brill indicate that an agent of the Scarlet Crusade was dispatched from the Scarlet Monastery and sent here to death knell. According to the reports, the messenger possesses important information on his person. I do not have further details, but whatever it is, we must have it. You're the most qualified person I have to send, Adelaide. Find that messenger and bring me whatever information you can find.
Beware the living.
Let's kill Mr. Melvin Korgel.
I have exactly what you need.
And we'll sell all of this junk. You know what? I think let me abandon this real quick and pick it back up.
What would you ask of death?
Okay, so it'll give us 675 experience. 24%. Okay. It's good to know. I always want to make sure that I keep track of that because there's been so many situations where I wasn't sure how much experience a quest reward would give me, and therefore wasn't sure how much I should grind before I should, head back to town. Knowing that this is 24% of our experience bar is good to know. It's pretty much just kill Melvin Korgel and I think we'll be fine. Maybe we'll kill one other. He is down, and we have the Scarlet Crusade documents. Got some cool stuff here. Let's kill one more. And the turn-in should be enough. Disperse information as you deem necessary. Tearsfall Regional Command, Captain Melrose, Captain Vacon, Captain Perrine. Oh, it's really cool that you actually hear these names before you're actually given the quests to kill them. Directives by the order of the High Lord. Captain Perrine, further fortify your position at the Southwest Tower as designated. Additional supplies will be dispatched at a later date. In the meantime, materials should be obtainable from the surrounding farms. Also, further reconnaissance and information should be gathered about the organization of the Undead in Brill. Captain Vacon, there appears to be increased movement by the Undead near the Northern Tower. This insurgence must be quickly and decisively dealt with. And Captain Melrose. There are concerns about the level of organization of the undead near the borders of the Plague Lands. A fresh group of men will be dispatched to your position in the coming weeks. Glory under the light. I've never read these documents before. That's really cool. And it's just another reason why I'm glad I'm doing this. I'm really curious, especially with anything related to the Forsaken. I have a keen interest in, if you couldn't guess. Let's see what you've got. He begins to rifle through the documents you recovered. Some news of their exploits against us. Worthless scouting reports. New orders, continuing to build up a camp near the ruined city. Nothing we don't know already. Ah, what's this? A map of the dispositions of some of their field commanders and agents. We can use this. Awesome, we hit level 6, that's great. These will need to be taken to my superior, Executor Zygand in Brill. With this information, we'll be able to deal a decisive blow to the Scarlet Crusade. Your services have been useful here in Death Knell, but I need someone to deliver this to Zygand, and I believe he'll be able to find you more appropriate work. Take the road north of Death Knell. Soon after entering Tirisfal proper, you'll hit a crossroads. Take the eastern fork and keep going east. You'll pass Cold Hearth Manor along the way. Oh, that's awesome. So it's the same document that we're going to be delivering, which is very, very cool. And we are level 6, so let's go pick up those new abilities. I love learning all this new stuff.
What now?
And I'm very excited to continue to learn more. So we've got Conjure Food, Fire Blast, and a new rank of Fireball.
Victory for Silver.
I'll sort those out in our bags once I am all done here. Very, very cool. I think that is a perfect stopping point for today. As always, I appreciate all of you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please consider liking the video and subscribing for more. I hope to see you back here in Tirisfal. Take care.